Hi, Heather. How are you?
Hey Mike, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Are,
Cool.
how are you holding up under house arrest?
Me and Pip are doing good, thank you. I think Pip's pretty upset about missing her afternoon walk, but other than that, we're doing good.
Oh,
How are you? How are you holding up right now?
I'm getting feedback. I can hear us on my other computer. Let me go turn that off, okay?
Okay. Technical difficulties.
Sorry about that.
It's all good.
Yeah, I realize that we're like 10 seconds behind live.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that before.
So, how are you holding up right now? How are you doing?
Well, yeah, good. I yesterday I had my first dine-in meal since this all started.
Ooh.
So it was a friend's birthday, and yeah, we had lunch downtown, and we just walked right in, no reservation, and had lunch. It was kind of surreal to be waited on again. I forgot what it felt like.
Well, just in case they're watching, should we wish the person happy birthday?
I think she is. I don't think she'll mind me saying it's Anne. Yeah, hi Anne. Happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday, Anne.
And Anne has some questions for us that she texted me.
Oh, cool. Do you want to start with those?
Okay.
Cool.
So, okay. Okay. Anne says, okay. Well, hi Mike. I may be moving to permanently to Las Vegas and then I'm sorry, Anne. I see that she wanted this anonymous. I already blew it. Can I still ask the question?
Oh, yeah.
She's smiling, so I'm going to go ahead and ask it. I may be moving permanently to Las Vegas in the next month or two, and although I'm excited about this possible transition, I'm worried that being a local would take away all the amazing Las Vegas deals and comps that I've enjoyed throughout the years when visiting Vegas as an out of towner. Are there discounts and perks they give to locals there worth it and comparable, or should I try and rely as long as I can under the guise of a vacationer in order to get the best offers and treatment from the casinos and businesses? Okay, good question, very good question, and I have a very strong opinion about this. Stay under your identity as a tourist. The casinos treat tourists way better than they treat us locals. There are so many things like tournaments that locals just aren't eligible for, and offers and promotions. And the casinos here totally take us locals for granted. So, my advice to you and to anyone moving to Vegas is keep your old ID. And if you change to a Nevada driver's license, they're going to ask for your old one back. Just say, I lost it, or get a duplicate one, do something. But if you play in the casinos, it's really valuable to have an out of state ID and an address. And hopefully you have a friend out of state who will collect mail for you. So yeah, I made a big mistake when I moved here from Baltimore in 2001, and I asked for my Nevada driver's license, and they asked for my Maryland driver's license, and I gave it to them. Big mistake. But I will say that some ways being a local can help you. Like, I think you get free entry in all the strip clubs if you're a local. And there may be other things like car washes and non-gaming related things where it helps. So the best of both worlds would be to have IDs from both Vegas and anywhere out of state.
Pretty good advice.
Heather, you've lived here your whole advice, so I guess you can't.
I can't talk about this. Yeah, I've lived here my whole life. I can't talk about it.
Okay. Okay.
Did Anne have any other questions that she needed answered, or do you want to go to one of the viewers?
Let's go to one of the viewers.
Okay.
I
So
thought about bingo at the beginning.
yes.
Okay.
So Jay says, how do you calculate the house edge of multiplayer bingo?
And let me tie that into another question from the forum about bingo. Gilles asks, would you consider bingo to be the easiest game for casinos to run while also implementing social distancing? What would you estimate the capacity limit to be? 50%, 33%? Would casinos operate bingo at this limited capacity and adjust jackpots or just not run games? Okay, although they're both about bingo, they're kind of different questions. Okay, first of all, I could talk a long time about how to calculate the odds in bingo. It has to, the way I worked really hard on this model. I have a very spreadsheet I'm very proud of, that you put in the game that was played, the number of each letter that was called, for example, 5 B's and 3 I's and two N's and so on, and then the number of people that called bingo when it got called. For example, 3 people called it. And when you have this information, you can get an estimate of the number of people in any one game, but then you have to use a maximum likelihood estimator when you tie this into all the games. And so this is how I determine the number of cards, of competing cards in a bingo room, which is really important to determining the value of playing. And I did this 2 days before the casinos shut down at the Suncoast. But as soon as they reopen, I'm going to do this again because I'm hoping everyone will be scared off to play bingo, and I will have a big, I can monopolize the card pool. So, so I'm going to do that, and I'll report how it goes. When I played at the Suncoast 2 days before, there was more competition than I thought there would be. I thought it was about an even bet. So, and yeah, to furthermore answer Gilles' question, the only places I've played are the Suncoast and the Red Rock, and those places have huge bingo rooms that on the typical session, I would say only about 1/5 of the seats are taken. So I think that if they had a policy of, say, only 4 people to a table, they wouldn't even need to turn away anybody because it doesn't get that crowded to begin with. And he also asks, would they limit the prizes? Bingo has never been played that way before here. It's always just been, here is the prize amount. The first person to call bingo gets it, regardless of how many people play, which is again, it's so important to know how many competing cards you're playing against. So, yeah, I'm hoping that when they return with bingo, everyone will be scared to play, but the prize pool will remain the same. But, you know, I could see the casinos thinking that if nobody is playing, we're not going to offer as much money. So we'll just have to wait and see, but I will be on it and keep you guys updated about how they're doing bingo once they start playing it again.
Now, in Las Vegas, are all of the bingo rooms, are they really big?
Let me think. Besides the one at the Palace Station was kind of small, and the one at Arizona Charlie's was kind of small. So Decatur, I guess it depends.
Decatur or Boulder?
Decatur.
Okay, because the one I was thinking of was Decatur, and I thought that was pretty big.
It's a lot smaller than the one at the Suncoast and the Red Rock.
Okay.
Yeah. So it depends. I think the newer casinos tend to have bigger bingo rooms.
Okay. So at least you could social distance and physical distance in those areas.
Yeah, bingo would be a pretty safe game to play if you were going to go to the casino because, yeah, you could it's easy to sit far away from the other players. I think the closest you would get to anybody would be when you have to actually buy your cards. Yeah.
Okay. So are we doing a forum question or a viewer question?
Well, we just let's do a viewer question.
Okay, viewer question. Mo the Cat says, in the article Discount Gambling about Ultimate Texas Hold'em, when seeing exposed cards, why does the number of players have any effect on the odds?
Because with more players, you see more cards, and information is powerful.
Okay, cool.
And with any of the poker variants that they may start dealing face up, again, the more cards that you see, the better the decisions you can make. So it's good to have more people sitting down and playing.
Sounds good. Okay, forum question.
Okay. 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 Dr. Samurai asks, if you bet the NBA champion this season, but they don't play out the rest of the year, is the bet nullified, and would the casino have to refund those bets? Yeah, I'm quite sure that because the bets were never resolved, that they would all be considered pushes and you could get your money back. For example, if there was ever a game that just didn't get played for whatever reason, like maybe a hurricane or something, those bets just would get refunded. Cool. And he also asks a similar sports betting question. I saw Dr. Fauci comment regarding NFL player testing. His suggestion is they test every Saturday and only players that test negative can play on Sunday. Can casino give odds on a game where, say, Aaron Rodgers is going to play on Friday and the odds are whatever, but then he tests positive on Saturday, so he can't play? That would dramatically affect the odds. How would a casino handle that? Would they just adjust the odds, or would they even be able to take any bets if that was the protocol? I tend to think that they're not going to muddy the waters with this. With baseball, it's so important with a baseball bet who is pitching, because some pitchers are better than others. So when you make a bet on baseball, you can insist that the starting pitchers actually pitch. And if there's a substitution at the last minute, then the bet is
null and void.
Null and void. Or you can say, I want action no matter what. And then they will just, shall we say, adjust the odds according to whoever the replacement pitcher is. So I think if it were a big problem of quarterbacks not being allowed to play because they tested positive, I could see the casinos either doing it like in baseball, where the bettor can choose to have action no matter what, or it being contingent upon the starting quarterbacks playing at least one play. But I tend to think that we're not going to see too many surprises, and I think they're going to be really protective of the quarterbacks and isolate them really well so they don't catch the coronavirus.
Sounds good.
And speaking of, I know you know this, but speaking of testing positive, our friend Angela contracted the coronavirus, and I just found this out just right before the show.
Yeah, thank you for telling me, by the way.
I didn't notice her email. I think she sent it on May 3rd.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But she said that she was finally starting to feel better, and but yeah, I'm definitely going to reach out to her, and next week I'll try to have more information about her.
Good. Hopefully she's okay. She's doing better.
Yeah. Have you known anyone firsthand who has had it?
Mm-mm.
Me neither. So she's the first.
Something else.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Question or comment from the peanut gallery?
So Dane says, is bingo slowly replacing Keno in Vegas, or is it even?
Oh,
Is bingo slowly replacing Keno in Vegas?
Neither one of them is really big. It's easy to say that Keno is dying off, and by that I mean live Keno. So many casinos have pulled it out. So, yeah, I would say more people probably play bingo than Keno, but it's close. But it's hard to find either game on the Strip anymore. Both of them are pretty much now a locals thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay, a forum question.
Okay. So somebody brings up my Labouchère video. He says, my question is, considering that that is just a way of betting more when you are losing with a profit goal too, and that the goal could be reached more haphazardly if less neatly and precisely, do you still find the mathematical aspect of it interesting on its own? Yeah, not really. What he's referring to is I've finally broken down and started to talk about betting systems. It's been a topic I've avoided for 23 years now, but I could see YouTube videos about betting systems can get over 1 million views. So, if somebody must know about one, I'd prefer they know it from me. So yeah, I'm already on my third version of a video on the Labouchère, otherwise known as the cancellation system, and there's definitely going to be a fourth. People at Wizard of Vegas are saying that I was just too rude and abrasive in version 3, so I'm going to soften it up a bit. But do I find anything interesting about it mathematically? Not really. The one after this is going to be about the Fibonacci betting system. Ooh. And I love the Fibonacci sequence. There is so much beauty in mathematics and patterns in that and connections to Pascal's triangle that I could just lose myself in the Fibonacci sequence for months. But I don't have the time, so I don't. Is it any magic pill to help you in the casinos? No, nothing is. So, yeah, so I hope that's an adequate answer.
That sounds pretty good. We got another question right here. And this one is regarding your interview that you just had with Rob Singer. And he says, do you believe Rob Singer actually won $2.8 million?
Yeah, first of all, what he's referring to is, Heather, as you know, you helped me and Rob do a video where I interviewed him from his home in Phoenix. And Rob Singer is a controversial figure in the world of gambling who claimed that he knew some secret way to beat video poker because the games were not playing fairly, and he knew how they were really programmed. And now recently he's come out saying that was all a lie. But I do know another secret, and it was the same, what's called the double up bug that Andre Nestor and John Kane were using, I think in 2009. So, but there's no evidence that he ever was, that he has been vague and contradictory about how to do it. He says he made $2.8 million doing it, but there's no evidence of this bill. He says he gave all the money to his daughter, something like that.
I thought he said he spent it all on an RV.
Yeah, and we talk about that RV in the interview. I think that it's bad journalism for me to say whether I believe him or not. I think people who know me know what my real opinion is. But I think it's important for a journalist, and if I may consider myself one, to be unbiased and just present facts and give people a chance to say what they have to say without bias. So yeah, so I'll refrain from answering that one, but I think you guys know what my real opinion is.
Okay, so you want to do a forum question?
Okay. As a license plate collector, how many famous cars, or even not so famous from TV shows, not movies, can you name? And what was the license plate, whether front or back, without looking it up? Or if it even had a plate? I don't put a whole lot of stock on license plates in TV shows and movies. For one thing, they often don't match the time period. And for another thing, you can often tell that they're fake just in the font or the exact color of the license plates. But I'm pretty sure that the license plate in Smokey and the Bandit on the Trans Am was BAN 1, BANONE. And I know this because you see replicas of this license plate on eBay all the time. So, which just goes to show that if you think you're getting the actual license plate that was in Smokey and the Bandit, you're not. You're getting one of like 50,000 imitations of it. Let's see. But sometimes in shows that don't state where they took place, like the Brady Bunch, you can tell from the license plates. Like on the cars, they had the yellow on black style of California license plates, which at least told you that they lived in California. Which, from the climate, it was kind of obvious, but they never actually said where they lived on that show.
But wasn't it technically around the LA area?
I can say that in one of the Brady Bunch movies, not one of the parodies, but one of like the after shows, like the Brady's or something like that, that they showed somebody flying into LAX to attend a reunion, but the actual Brady Bunch house was in the LA area. Yeah. So it pretty clearly they lived in the LA area. But they never actually said so on the show. There's a tongue twister for you. And let me think. I bet other examples will come to me after this. Okay. Also another one you see on eBay all the time is from Cheech and Chong, and it says Muff Driver. So they must have made tons of imitations of that one too. And what else? On Seinfeld, Ass Man. You see tons of imitations of that one on eBay too. So, but I am proud to say that I own the license plates that were on Coach. What was the coach's name from Friday Night Lights? I'm having a brain fart. Anyway, the coach's car from that show. Okay. And how do I know that's not just one of a bunch of imitations? It's because when that show ended, they auctioned off the props from the show, and I got the license plates as well as the coach's ID, his driver's license.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you have it hanging up in your house somewhere?
No, it's somewhere in one of my boxes of license plates. And someone from Wizard of Vegas is actually trying to buy it from me. So Eric Taylor, thank you. Oh, that was driving me crazy. Coach Taylor. That's a good show, by the way. I'm embarrassed I don't remember his name.
Cool.
Okay, well, I'm out of Wizard of Vegas questions, so let's get one from the Peanut Gallery.
We've got a ton of questions from the viewers. I have a question before we get to the one from viewers. That beard is coming in pretty nicely. That's looking really good.
Thanks. I think we can finally start calling it a beard as opposed to me looking homeless. And, I've never... Here we go, audience.
Wait, you have to turn to the side. Yep, there you go. Yep.
Yeah, I've never had one before, so I look in the mirror and I don't really recognize myself.
It looks pretty cool with that gray patch right there. That looks pretty neat.
Thanks.
Yeah, that looks cool.
And you can see my hair also has black parts and gray parts. So
it looks good.
Yeah, I've said this before, but I'm not going to shave or cut my hair until things are back to normal. So we'll see how long it can get. And maybe I'll start looking like a real wizard.
Mike the Gray instead of Gandalf the Gray.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, so let's start asking some questions from the viewers real quick. We got to go back up here. So Lorraine says, can you give a quick description of playing to hole card on Ultimate Texas Hold'em, strategies and advantages?
Let me quickly get my strategy card.
Okay.
So here's my Ultimate Texas Hold'em strategy card.
Sweet. Nice.
And I bet you guys can't read every detail, but the top of it shows when to make the big raise,
Mm-hmm.
and then the middle part shows when to make the medium raise, and the bottom part when to make the small raise. And you can find this on Wizard of Odds under Ultimate Texas Hold'em, and just print it out yourself. But yeah, I made a bunch of these and had them laminated, and yeah, I'd like to give them out as gifts.
Awesome. That's really cool.
But yeah, the strategy, I'm not going to read the whole strategy right now and bore the audience.
Okay, but they can find it on your website. So they just go to wizardofodds.com and then they go find Ultimate Texas Hold'em.
Yep, and then there's just click on strategy, and you may have to format it a little bit by yourself to make it like a good strategy card size, but yeah, there you go. Ultimate Texas Hold'em strategy. That's simple.
Awesome. Okay, next question. And you don't have to answer this since it is political. How are you feeling about the November election bets a week as a long time in politics? And that's from JBK.
Okay, let me preface this by saying I'm not indicating any political opinion here, but I think that Trump is going to win.
Really?
Yes.
Even
and
after
why?
the COVID thing?
Yep. Because we Americans have very short memories, but basically, if you look at every election since the television age, which I start with at 1960, the first televised debate was for the 1960 election between Kennedy and Nixon, and of course we all know Kennedy won. But think about it, every election since then has been won by, shall we say, the more telegenic, more charismatic candidate. And granted, there are some where it was about equal, but I'm sorry, but Biden is not charismatic at all. And I don't think it. I think that, as Trump said, he could start shooting people in the streets of Manhattan, and he would still win.
Just the fact that he said that.
But I really want to make it clear that I'm not saying who I support. I'm just saying that I have bet thousands of dollars on Trump already, and am going to continue putting money on that side. And by the way, the going odds right now is you have to lay about 125 on Trump.
So you lay 125 to get paid 100?
That's right.
Okay. Okay. So next question. Getting off of politics.
Mm-hmm.
So Mo the Cat says, will casino comps be honored past their 90-day maximum non-use? By the way, hi, Angela. Be well.
Yeah. Hi, Angela. And she did remark that she watches this show.
Oh, really? So, she does?
Yeah. Hi, Angela.
Oh, cool.
Hope you're watching. Hope you're feeling better. Yes, and I'm going to reach out to you later today.
Yeah, please feel better.
Will comps be honored after their 90-day maximum non-use? That's, of course, going to be taken on a casino by casino basis, but I bet that they would. I think that they're going to be hungry to get things back to normal, and I don't think it's going to be good business to say no to people. So I bet that they honor, that they, shall we say, don't count the time that the casinos were closed against any expiration period. Like, I still have some Super Bowl tickets that I'm sure have technically expired by now, but I'm sure that they will be honored. And I will raise holy hell if they're not.
And we'll hear about it here.
Yep.
Okay, so our next question is, this one's really easy. Dane says, is there a basic blackjack is there a basic strategy for Ultimate Texas Hold'em like for blackjack? And you just showed it, and it's on wizardofodds.com. Go to Ultimate Texas Hold'em. So I love it when we can answer multiple questions with one answer. The next one is, do you see table games going to chipless systems of gaming using digital or other electronic inputs for guests in light of this COVID fiasco?
Absolutely. I think that we're going to see a lot more stadium gaming, and as well as the smaller units like so-called bubble craps. I think that companies like Interblock are really going to benefit from all this.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Cool. Next question. This one's a fun one. Thank you, Anne. Who is your favorite cartoon character and why?
That's
That's
Let
a
me
good
think.
question. I like that.
I rather like Droopy. Do you know who Droopy is?
Wasn't that Snoopy's uncle?
No.
Oh.
I didn't even know Snoopy had an uncle, but I know he had brothers. I know there was a Spike and I think a Bell. And
Maybe I'm thinking of Spike. I thought that was his uncle. It was the one with the it tried to grow like a beard,
yeah,
whiskers and everything.
no, I'm pretty sure that was his brother.
Oh, okay.
And I invite the audience to check on that. But no, I really disliked when they added Snoopy's brothers and sisters to the story. I thought that was when the comic strip jumped the shark, as they say, and I just quit reading it.
So who's Droopy then?
So Droopy, I think he was a Hanna-Barbera character, and he was this little. Oh, what breed was he?
A dog?
He might have. Well, he was definitely a dog. I think he might have been a bulldog, but he was little, and he had this slow way of talking, and he was very mild mannered, and and during the first half of the show, nothing would go his way, and lots of times, like a bigger dog would be picking on him, and then he would say something like, in every episode, he would say, "If you don't stop saying that, I'm going to get really angry." And then he would still kept being antagonized, and then it would be like Popeye after he ate a can of spinach. He would get like a superhuman strength and just start kicking ass.
Oh, that's funny.
But I like all of the Bugs Bunny characters, especially Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. Heckle and Jekyll, I never liked. Scooby-Doo, I never liked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I could probably talk about this all day, but
I told you it was a good question.
Yeah. Did I say Heckle and Jekyll I didn't like?
Yeah, you said you weren't too fond of them.
Yeah. The Pink Panther. I love the Pink Panther.
Yeah, that was good.
I remember on Sunday mornings, there would be an hour-and-a-half show that was it was called the Pink Panther Laugh-and-a-Half, Hour-and-a-Half show, and I just loved that. So, yeah.
Awesome. So our next question is from Gary, and he says, was it Bobby Brady who idolized the LA Rams Deacon Jones? Do you know the answer to that?
Oh, boy. I know that Joe Namath was a guest star, but I also, this is vaguely ringing a bell, but I'm embarrassed to say, I think it was Bobby, but I just don't remember. And I'm embarrassed to get stumped on a Brady Bunch question.
So if you're watching this and let us know in the comments.
Heather, do you have any favorite cartoon characters?
Oh, like you said, we could talk about this all day. My cartoon characters are more from the 80s, though. So I like Ninja Turtles. I like oh God, now I'm having a brain fart. I have so many so many cartoons. And anime, I like anime. You've seen anime, right?
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
Yeah. Okay, next question. This one is an easy one. Who do you prefer, Grateful Dead or Allman Bros? And that's from Dripping Swords and Metaphors.
I'm not familiar with the second band. What was it again?
Allman? Allman Bros?
Nope, not familiar with them. And you would think I would probably be a big Grateful Dead fan given my age, but I never got into them. I have absolutely nothing bad to say about the Grateful Dead, but that was such a scene, like when I was in college, that it was just epic to go out of town and go to a Grateful Dead show. But usually the stories that I would come hear about it was just the drugs that they took, and nothing about the concert itself.
No one was paying attention to the concert.
I really regret that I never had a chance to see them. Yeah, it's just one of those things that just kind of slipped through my fingers. That just never got into. Kind of like Star Trek. I have nothing bad to say about Star Trek. I just never got into it to begin with.
Again, a conversation that we have literally had for an entire day. Okay, so our next one is Mo the Cat says, for your information, the wizard looks exactly like my dentist. So you have a doppelganger out there.
Can you send me a picture of your dentist?
Ooh, that'd be fun. And then we can compare them side by side. I like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Next one is Mike. Do you have any plans for gambling retirement? Jean Scott and her husband. And that's from John Hansen.
Not imminently. The day will come where I hang up my wizard hat and ride off in the sunset, but I think it's way down the line. I've already kind of toned down a little bit, but where I'm enjoying myself a little bit more. But yeah, but I still have 3 kids who are dependent on me, and yeah, I don't see retiring for at least 10 years.
Well, I'm glad to say we get you for another 10 years.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Oh, I see somebody said Droopy was a basset hound, and that makes sense because he had those big, the jowls as cheeks.
Okay. Got you. Gotcha. So our next question, we have a lot of comments from what we were saying. What are the top 3 advantage plays in casinos currently? And this is from Six Side.
That's a good one because we're not
currently the COVID thing changed everything.
Oh yeah. Well, taking that out of the equation, I think promotion abuse is a big one. I think whole card play is a big one, and I think blackjack plays like ace location and card sequencing will be my third one. But there may be things out there that are so new that I don't even know about them. And, nobody tells me anything. I'm usually the last to know with advantage plays because everyone is afraid that I will tell everybody once I find out about one, which I probably would.
But that's why we watch you. We want to know that information.
That's my job.
So our next question is, do you think Galaxy Gaming stock is a buy or a bust? And this is from Joe Church.
No comment on that. I haven't been following it.
Okay. Next one is, and remember, if you have any questions, please ask. Mr. Chad says, have the remote slot play apps been implemented prior to COVID? If not, do you think they will try to put a rush on it?
Remote slot apps. Do you know what he's talking about?
Nope.
I know there's a website. You know how they have live dealer websites? Mm-hmm. There's now a website, I think it's only out in New Jersey, where you can play a physical slot machine from your own computer.
No kidding.
And you actually see the slot machine that you're playing.
That's cool.
If that's what he's talking about,
I know that they just started doing this in Atlantic City before all this happened. So I don't, I don't know. I haven't seen enough of it to have an opinion.
Okay. So our next question. Let's see.
I see somebody asked, do you think 5,000 is enough to start card counting? Absolutely not. You need more than that.
How much do you think you need?
I think you should calculate how much income, how much you spend in a year. And I think you would need about 5 times that much.
So 20,000?
Well, let's say that someone can scrape by on 40,000 a year, then they would need 200,000.
Okay.
So blackjack is a very thin advantage. It's very volatile. So yeah, it's not a game for those with a meager bankroll. If you want to make a full-time career out of it.
Agreed. Yeah, and that's what people don't realize is they need a large bankroll to get started. I know that there's people out there that think, oh, I could just start playing and I'll win my bankroll.
Yep.
Doesn't work that way.
Like that. Nope.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. What did you think of Pepe Le Pew?
I kind of liked him. Every cartoon was kind of the same, where I recall a common gag would be somebody would paint a white stripe on a black cat, and then Pepe Le Pew would fall in love with it.
Yeah.
But it was.
That cat was not having any of it.
Oh yeah, that cat didn't want to have anything to do with a skunk.
Nope.
But yeah, I would say that Pepe Le Pew I liked, but I didn't love.
Cool. Okay, so our next one that we have, Fun and Games says, Wizard, you mentioned that you were taking Trump at -125. At what point would you stop taking Trump, and where can I get some money down?
I bet at 5 dimes they take Bitcoin, and the price tends to go up and down a little bit. So I would try to just know where the market is at, and wait for it to get to the low points, in its fluctuation zone. But I definitely think that the -125 right now is a good buy.
Okay. Sounds good. And then Jay is making a statement where he said that John Smith started with 14,000 while living with his mother and brother. Next.
Okay.
What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
I'm just saying I'm not sure who John Smith is, but
Okay.
but it helps to live with your mother. Cuts down on the expenses.
Wait. Does that mean that all 3 of your kids are going to stay with you for like a while?
They might. Yeah, I don't want to give out too much personal information.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next one is, okay, we got a question for me. Thank you very much. Heather, do you gamble, and what games do you play? No, I don't gamble. I like my money. I know well enough that I would not be good at gambling, so I don't. I play video games. Nice, easy, short, and sweet. Next one is, let's see. We don't have any more, it looks like. Yeah, we're all out of questions. We don't have any more questions.
Okay, well, let's give the audience a chance to think of some. So, did you ever get into Scooby-Doo, or is that before your time?
No, I like Scooby-Doo, but we watched it more in high school than I did when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Smurfs?
Yes, the Smurfs were awesome. I like the Smurfs.
Which was if you were a Smurf, which of the Smurfs do you think you would befriend?
Befriend?
Yeah.
The science one with the glasses.
What was his name?
I can't remember.
What was your opinion about Smurfette?
God. First of all, can we have more than one chick? I'm sorry. One chick in a whole village of guys is just disturbing.
And nobody paid any attention to her, right?
Oh, I'm sure they paid attention to her at night. But anyway.
I'm not so sure because you never saw her get any male attention during the day.
Maybe the whole town was like, they had little gave Smurfs.
What was the name of the cat on that show? Was that Gargamel?
Gargamel was the guy that owned the cat, wasn't he?
I don't remember. I never really got into the Smurfs.
Yeah. No, I was a Ninja Turtle chick. Yeah. And Pokemon. So
those were after my time.
Yeah. Now, have you ever been to the Pinball Hall of Fame? And this is from John Hansen.
Oh, lots of times. Lots of times if I have to pick up somebody from the airport, I will hit the Pinball Hall of Fame before just to kill some time. And lots of times I'm in the area and I'll pay it a visit. But the funny thing is I usually don't play pinball, but I play Centipede.
Oh, cool.
I was addicted to Centipede when I was in high school. Like half my money went into playing Centipede.
How good did you get? Were you one of the top scorers?
I mean, the way it worked is there were the top 10 scores, but the first 3 were permanent. And then the other 7 were like the top scores for that day. So I often was all over the place in positions 4 through 10, but I never got into like the permanent top 3. I was, to be perfectly honest, I was never that good at it. I think my high score was only like 180,000. What can I say? I just like the game.
So basically for your birthday, that's what I need to get you is like an old arcade game of Centipede.
Oh, please don't. That will be a huge time suck. And by the way, you can buy those. Like at my kid's orthodontist, they have basically a like a video game that you can play all kinds of games on from that area, like Frogger and Pac-Man and
Sweet.
Galaxia. Yeah. And I actually like taking my kids there because I get to play the machine while I'm waiting.
That's so cool. Yeah, I totally agree with you. And same with the Pinball Hall of Fame. Just absolutely love it. I love going there. Absolutely the best. My favorite is the Circus one. Have you ever done the Circus pinball? There's only 2 in existence, and one of them is there, and it has like 3 or 4 levels, and it's so much freaking fun.
I can't say that I have.
Oh, you gotta try that next time.
What's the exact title of it?
It's a circus one, and you walk in, and it's the only circus one that they have like right next to the wall between the 2 doors, the entrance and exit. And it's literally, you'll know it when you see it because it's like this huge cabinet, and it's literally like 3 or 4 levels, and it's a whole circus themed one.
I will definitely look for that in my next trip.
Awesome. Sweet. Okay, and now let's see, going to another question because we had some people. Thank you guys very much for asking more questions. John says, and I guess another way to ask this is, what is your opinion of the Las Vegas mayor?
Not counting her recent interview with Anderson Cooper, I didn't have a strong opinion either way before all this. I have met her before. She founded this school where one of my kids goes.
Oh, cool.
But she just had that awful interview with Anderson Cooper. And I think that, I think she did really badly in that interview, but I think her actual position is not that totally crazy.
And it looks like the governor listened because we're doing a soft open.
Well, the governor, of course, is higher than the mayor. But for those who don't know, on CNN, she was interviewed, and her position seemed to be, let's open Vegas right now. with no restrictions whatsoever. Let the casinos make their own rules. And Anderson Cooper was just totally hammering her, about what a crazy idea that would be to just have Vegas be a petri dish, sending home everybody with coronavirus as a souvenir, the way he made it out to be. But
what happens in Vegas goes home with you.
Yeah. But Carolyn Goodman was trying to say that she trusted the casinos to self-regulate enough to be safe. And furthermore, the Gaming Control Board is the one that is overseeing the safety of the casinos once they reopen. And I think she really should have brought up that point, but I don't know if she forgot or just didn't know.
Yeah.
So, again, I don't have a strong opinion either way. If I would like to see more regulation in Vegas, like I really don't like this strip convenience tax that a lot of restaurants charge. I think that's really dishonest. I know this is probably not under her purview, but I really dislike resort fees. I think those should be illegal. I really would like to see water stations up and down the strip where people could fill water bottles for free.
Yes. We really need that.
But then again, she hasn't done anything that's really stupid either. So, I have no strong opinion either way about her.
Okay. So our next question is, have you seen people winning big on poker variants like Mississippi Stud or Let It Ride?
I really don't gamble that much, so it's not like I can tell all these stories about huge wins that I've seen.
When I was dealing Let It Ride, we would normally see one of the big winners once a year, just one time a year. And that's like me dealing it 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. We would get like one big winner once a year, and that would be like the $40,000 winner. Mm-hmm.
Well, I remember one time when I was in Tunica, I saw somebody at another table hit a 7-card straight flush, and so won the fortune jackpot. But yeah, I really don't pay attention to other players when I'm playing, and I think that everyone should follow that you should worry about your own game, and definitely don't criticize other people for how they play theirs.
I agree. Cool. And Joe is saying he thinks it was Thrifty Smurf. I didn't know they had Thrifty Smurf. Thrifty Smurf. So Kevin says, is there any advantage play you would suggest with a bankroll that size, Mike?
Well, of what size?
I guess the 10,000 you said, or what was it, 20,000?
Nope, it's just not enough. It's just not enough for anything.
Okay. Next one is, what are some stocks you feel are undervalued?
I'm not a very good person to ask stock questions to, so let's pass on that one.
Okay. Next question is, which casino is your favorite to play blackjack and why?
I really play so little blackjack that, I don't have a good opinion about that one. Okay. I would certainly look for a casino that had good rules, like standing on a soft 17, double after a split surrender, and resplitting aces. So it's the rules that are the important thing for me.
Okay. Next up is from Joe. Do you think casinos will be more loose, tight, or stay the same with comps after the COVID shutdown is over?
I think they'll be looser. I think they'll be trying to get their players back.
Yeah. And John says, Wizard, why are there no table games in the airport, only machines?
No one's ever asked me that before. I think because the machines take less space and don't require a lot of human maintenance. And less personnel. I just don't see table games working out. I don't think there's a particular law against it, but it just seems to be just something that's kind of like a convenience store kind of thing where
Right.
there's just a little bit of gaming going on.
Well, they don't have to worry about floor supervisors. They don't have to worry about cheaters. They don't have to worry about, dealers. There's so much they don't have to worry about with slot machines.
Yeah, there's so much supervision that goes into table games that I think they would need to install all kinds of cameras and stuff like that. And, I think it would be a big security problem.
Yeah. Next is from Anne. Mike, what is your opinion about people who strive to play poker for a living? Since it is said to involve skill more than just chance, do you think that it could be a genuine, profitable discipline?
I'm not very optimistic about the average person making a living playing poker. I think that poker rooms are infested with strong players, and it's a very volatile game. And I'm speaking just in general here as opposed to any particular person, but I would not recommend becoming a professional poker player to anybody.
Yeah. Especially not in Las Vegas.
Yep.
Next question is from Gary. That Circus pinball is one that was made but never commercially produced, so there are only 2 or 3 in the world. Yeah, I think there's only 2 of them. It's so cool.
Yeah, by the way, to any people who really like vintage pinball games, there's a place that's even better in San Francisco, and it's right there in the waterfront area. I don't remember the name of it, but it's close to Pier 39, and it is just huge. But it doesn't just have pinball. It has all kinds of really, really old games that are made out of wood, and super cool.
Very cool. Awesome. Okay, so the next one is from Trey. Do you have advice for managing expected loss, house edge for gambling after reopening? We've heard that higher minimums to account for fewer players will be at the table.
Well, I've always said that you should play within your budget. And if the casinos raise the minimums to a point where you're uncomfortable, then you're just going to have to find something else to play. And I would seriously consider going to stadium gaming. I think it's not as fun, but I'm a big advocate of keeping your bets in an entertainment kind of zone where you're just playing to have fun recreationally. So, yeah.
Cool. And last one, and it's kind of for me, sorry.
That's okay.
So back to Heather, you deal games in casinos, correct? What were your favorite and least favorite games to deal and why? I used to deal, I don't deal anymore. And my favorite was Pai Gow Poker, which is why I think I have so much fun with Pai Gow tiles when me and you do that, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And what games did you hate to deal? Like, you hated the poker variants, right?
I really did not like dealing Let It Ride. Blackjack really bored the crap out of me. Like, I wanted to fall asleep. I did actually fall asleep on Mini Baccarat, and I dealt the game while I was sleeping. I swear. Did I tell you that story?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess my favorites were roulette and Pai Gow.
Okay.
Yep. Let's see if we have one more question for you before we go. Let's see. Oh, they're saying it was Brainy Smurf. Brainy Smurf.
I forgot about her.
Him. They're all him.
Oh, that's right.
All of them are hymns. So, here we go. Can anyone buy a shirt? Let's see. Can anyone buy that shirt anywhere? Not that one. Your shirt? Okay, I think we're totally out of questions. So when is the next time people are going to see you?
Next week, same time, same place.
Sweet. Cool.
And if you miss me, you can always find me at Wizard of Vegas and Wizard of Odds.
Sounds good. And yeah, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Odds must be crazy. Come back, check us out. We'll do more questions. We'll do lots of different stuff. So,
Yep.
yeah.
And if you guys miss Heather, you can find her at vegasaces.com with a dash.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Mike. Thanks for doing this. It was
Okay.
a lot of fun.
Thanks, Heather. And thanks, audience, for coming. And we'll see you guys next week.
See you next week.
Okay. Bye.